social commerce and social ordering is a big thing. Customers see something and you want that impulse kind of buyers. They see it, it's exciting, click 2 buttons, take my money and ship the item.
I want to talk a little bit about the shipping rules. How does that work?
This is a good question. So shipping rules is something that...
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Coffee Break podcast. Shipping orders is one of the biggest headaches for Shopify merchants. If you're already using Amazon FBA to store and ship your products, you'll probably wonder how to make that work smoothly with your Shopify sales too. That's where Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment comes in, short MCF. And today we were digging into what it is, what it can do, and how it can help your business. To help us unpack this, I'm joined by Kara. She's the face of ByteStand, and she guides merchants through using Amazon MCF on Shopify with hands-on support, demos, tutorials, and so on. And she makes sure that every user feels confident in using it. So we have a lot to cover. Let's jump right into it and welcome Kara to the show. Hi, how are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
Very well. Great to have you on the show. So first question for our listeners who haven't heard about it. What's Amazon's multi-channel fulfillment?
Yeah, so multi-channel fulfillment is an Amazon-owned software or service for Amazon established merchants. So for merchants that have already shipped their products into an Amazon facility and store their products in there, they're probably participating in the FBA or Fulfilled by Amazon service already. Well, MCF is a free service that was introduced by Amazon way back in 2007, but it just started to gain traction recently, probably within the past 6 to 7 years. So MCF enabled merchants back in 2007 to manually create external orders in the back end of Amazon. So merchants could accept orders in person on Shopify, different platforms, but then they would have to type in customer addresses, select the products, calculate the shipping rates, and create orders in the back end of Amazon. And because it was a non-Amazon.com order, they said, okay, well, this is now called multi-channel fulfillment. It's coming from a different channel. We'll go ahead because we have your inventory stored in our warehouses across the globe. We'll go ahead and pick, pack, and ship this for you. And Amazon did that as a way to keep merchants from exploring with other 3PLs and as a convenience, like your product's already stored with us. You're selling on Amazon. You're making money. Your brand is gaining traction. If you have a different website or storefront, great, but it was manual at that time. So now things have progressed to a more automated solution now that they've gained traction with MCF, where merchants are finding ways to automatically forward orders from all different platforms into Amazon's backend and have these things picked, packed, and shipped for them.
Mm-hmm. I remember the times when I was running my Shopify store and I had to do it manually in Amazon. It was a complete pain in the neck, to be honest. So it's great that there is a solution to automate this whole process. Now, I want to have you talking me through the process because there's a lot of data coming in. So there's inventory, and then obviously there's a couple of marketing opportunities in there with your app, what you can do. And we want to dive into this, but just talk me into how does the connection work between Shopify and Amazon?
So the connection between Shopify and Amazon, there's not an organic one that exists right now. So with the Shopify App Store, you have apps that exist like ByteStand, which is the company that I work for. So ByteStand has created an app called MCF Shipping. Merchants with a Shopify store can install an integration connector app like ByteStand. And within 2 clicks, we collect your Amazon credentials from Amazon Seller Central. And that is MCF is currently available to United States, Mexico, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, Australia, and Japan so far. It's questionable on India. So if I have listeners that service India customers, they're working on it. So ByteStand, within 2 clicks, gathers your Amazon credentials, imports them into ByteStand, and that's how we connect your order and inventory information from Amazon into Shopify with that, you've got a couple of options. Everyone's number one goal is order fulfillment, but the second runner up is inventory management. So Amazon considers your FBA inventory one pool of inventory. And so with MCF orders, they pull that inventory from your FBA inventory. So you don't have two physical pools for MCF and FBA. It's on one pool. So if you run out of inventory of a product in an Amazon warehouse, apps, one of the perks of apps like ByteStand is we also sync your inventory for you from Amazon into Shopify. So if you go out of stock of a product in the middle of the night, you're on holiday in Amazon, when ByteStand syncs that inventory, we pull the inventory over to Shopify for you. So it says out of stock over in Shopify, and you're not collecting orders for out of stock products. So with an integration app, there's just a couple of clicks, setup steps. We automatically send order data to Amazon. When Amazon ships orders, we collect the tracking information, import it back into Shopify. It's a completely automated system that also prevents a lot of human error with managing inventory, keeping it mapped from Amazon to Shopify, especially for our merchants that have hundreds to thousands of SKUs. You're not going to be able to keep up with what is in stock, what is out of stock, what orders have shipped, and what hasn't shipped yet.
I think that's a huge advantage that you can stay in Shopify and still have an overview of what's happening in your warehouse. Now, a lot of stores nowadays, they have some kind of marketing strategies to increase your average order value. That might be bundles, that might be subscriptions, upsell, and so on and so forth. How do you deal with this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So ByteStand currently has a couple of different options. We have a virtual bundle option. The positive of that, we have a lot of merchants that say, hey, I have packaged all of these units separately. I don't actually have the bundles built in an Amazon warehouse floor, but I need to sell them on Shopify or on TikTok as a shampoo and a conditioner and a dry shampoo. So we have a very simple feature that you just map the product listing on Shopify, that SKU, to its physical Amazon SKUs. So when we send that order over to Amazon, we say, hey, ship 3 different SKUs, don't go look for this fake SKU that actually doesn't exist. So that helps our merchants easily create these bundled products without having to create something in Seller Central, because that can be difficult from time to time. The ByteStand app is also very flexible, and it works with the upsell apps that are out there and subscription apps. So a lot of e-commerce or Shopify merchants are familiar with things like Recharge or an app like Miracle, where they're actually selling products, because now social commerce and social ordering is a big thing. TikTok has exploded lately because customers see something and you want that impulse kind of buyers. They see it, it's exciting, click 2 buttons, take my money and ship the item. So ByteStand works with Shopify and these other apps that when merchants are importing orders into Shopify, we're forwarding all of those orders over to Amazon. Amazon's not sure if it's coming from TikTok, Shopify, eBay. They're just saying, here's an order and I'm shipping it for you with their super fast standard and expedited options. So people that are very marketing savvy and focusing on that, you can do subscription, upsells, social orders, virtual bundles. Everything is covered.
Hey, no, that's great. I mean, that's really covers basically the whole marketing strategy that a lot of stores have right now, specifically when it comes to social selling. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the shipping rules, because a lot of sellers might have different shipping rules or even different shipping rates depending from where they sell from. How does that work?
So shipping rules is something that ByteStand has introduced recently, and we're really excited about it because the world of e-commerce is getting more and more complex, because our customers want more, they want a custom experience, they want it faster, and they want it cheaper. So our merchants have to adjust for that. So with ByteStand, we started to sense this change, and shipping rules help merchants, small and large, that maybe they don't want to ship every single order from Amazon. So for my merchants that are familiar with Amazon, it is cost effective for them to ship orders from Amazon with 1 unit in it But when it's a multi-unit order, that shipping cost for the merchant can start to add up. So shipping rules, you could create a rule that says send all Shopify orders that have 1 unit in it to Amazon and ignore orders that have multiple units in it. And I'll ship that from my 3PL because it's more cost effective. Or if you're a merchant that ships oddly shaped products or heavy products, you don't have to, you can use a shipping rule that says, hey, if someone attempts to purchase this SKU, I'm going to ship it from my North Carolina warehouse. You can control your shipping costs 2 ways, specifically with the ByteStand app. And one is to offer your own manual fixed rates. Everyone in Shopify can control their own shipping costs and their Shopify settings. And so we'll just map those to the standard and expedited options that Amazon offers in the back end if you want to use your own manual fixed rates. So for example, my merchants that sell in the United States and the UK, they might want to offer free shipping over in the UK. I think their shipping costs from what we have seen is a little bit more manageable than some of the US costs. So let's say I want to offer UK customers free shipping, ByteStand, but charge US customers. And so we help with that flexibility. And then the other option we have is live Amazon shipping rates. So for our store merchants, our Shopify merchants that are on a Grow Shopify plan or above, they have access to live Amazon calculated rates. So in real time, as their customers are checking out in different countries, as long as those products are stocked in an Amazon warehouse, we're connecting with Amazon and sending Amazon the SKU and the shipping address and saying, hey, Amazon, what will it cost to ship this? So whatever the merchant is going to pay for shipping costs via Amazon MCF, the customer is paying it for them.
It helps a lot in the risky business of miscalculating shipping costs and then making a loss on the shipping, which happens to a lot of merchants out there. And it's not an easy task. So if this gets automatically calculated in the back end, that's perfect. Now, sometimes sellers don't want to send out their order immediately. They want to check, they might be canceling it for some reasons or whatever, or make changes to it. Is there any kind of way to bring this into the workflow?
There is. So within the ByteStand app, we have a order delay feature. And I'll take a step back and say, number one, the merchant has flexibility. There are some merchants that would like to look at every order before they send them to Amazon. And if that's the case, don't turn automatic fulfillment on. And you can choose per product even these days with MCF shipping. So maybe you want to automatically ship some products, but not all of them. So we have a lot of merchants, 89% of them turn automatic fulfillment on and get everything sent to Amazon within 8 minutes of the order being created. There's other merchants that say, I would like a delay. So now you can create, the limit is 5 minutes. So the shortest delay you can create is 5 minutes up to 48 hours. You can delay sending orders automatically to Amazon. So this helps with fraudulent orders, or it helps with orders where the customer needs to cancel the order. They shipped it to the wrong address, or maybe they need to add something to the order.
It happens quite often. I had this in the past that people order and then 5 minutes later you get an email and say, I have the wrong address in there. So you want to wait sometimes, depending what your audience is. So
exactly. Yeah.
Tracking is probably the number one question that comes to support. Where's my tracking code? Or people want to have it in the confirmation email. How do you deal with this?
Yeah. So the good thing with Amazon, when merchants are using their MCF program, you're getting access to the FBA shipping timeframes. So standard shipping is added. I'll speak for the United States. We have more information on the website and on MCF about each individual country because there's different shipping timeframes for standard versus expedited. But these days, their expedited shipping option is just as fast as priority, and expedited is cheaper than priority. So with those options comes the tracking link. Amazon will provide the tracking information even for multi shipments. So if it's one order with multiple shipments, they will provide us with all the tracking information. We pull that from Amazon, import it into the Shopify order, and then we trigger Shopify to send automatic emails to the customer. So no one's with MCF. And an integration, no one's commuting with your Shopify customers other than you. So we're just a communication tool to say, hey, the order has been shipped. Here's your tracking information. Here is the link. Please click on it. And that way they can see, okay, it's a state away from me, or it's going to be here today. It's delivered. It's on the front porch.
Mm-hmm. Can you share some experiences of customers from your side on what kind of difference they saw in their business, what kind of savings they had, or more sales, or more conversions, and how long it took them to see these kinds of changes?
We've had some merchants that started out with us, and they had yet to experience branching out into social commerce. And once they found out through ByteStand that there was a way to connect TikTok into Shopify and Etsy into Shopify, the sales, not only did they have to spend money on marketing and SEO, they were going viral on social media as well. And so it's like, well, let's harness the power of what's happening on social media. Just let them check out on TikTok. And then once you let them check out on TikTok, we can help send all of those orders over to Amazon for you. So that's been a fun experience, is to connect with Shopify merchants that are just selling on their website. You're spending a fortune on marketing and ads, not realizing you have this following on these other websites. And you just need to tap into that and make it convenient for this following to find your website, and then quickly get that order placed and get it sent over to Amazon. Another case that's been really exciting is for our stores that, through the power of MCF and selling their products on different channels, they've catched the eye of places like Shark Tank or Good Morning America. And so we've really seen an uptick of these viral products that have gained the attention of their country. And now they're being, so just this week, we had a large company that went live on Good Morning America. They set up a Shopify store really quick. Were already set up in Amazon. And not only were they making money in their native UK store and their native Europe store, they branched out into the United States with Good Morning America and sold over 2,000 orders within a weekend. And we helped, within 8 minutes, all of these orders started coming in. It was very quick just to get them shipped out. And that's brand awareness. And so with these experiences, it really helps these merchants reach to customers all over.
No, I completely understand that social selling is a big thing. You should be multi-channel, but also multi-social. And if you get viral, or if your product becomes viral, then obviously you need to have a solid, fast-working back end. And then obviously this combination fulfilled by Amazon is a good one. Now, walk me through the typical onboarding process for a new user. How long does it take? What kind of steps are involved? Is there any homework to do before you can get started?
So very quickly, I'll go over kind of the requirements of using an MCF program, because it is different than the FBA program. So something to be aware of is FBA is different than MCF. With MCF orders, for example, you need your product stored in the country you want to ship to. It's a little bit different than FBA. FBA, you might be able to ship your US stored order products to Canada. With MCF, that's not the case. The reason for that is Amazon actually will not charge merchants a referral fee on their MCF orders. So FBA orders, they charge you a referral fee. MCF orders, it's not coming from Amazon.com, so they're not going to charge you that referral fee, which is a perk, but it comes with a little bit of a drawback. They say, well, if your products are stored in Canada, we're only going to ship MCF orders to Canada shipping addresses. So the requirement is the products have to be physical. They have to be associated with your seller central, and they have to be in a warehouse. So unfortunately, this does not work on print on demand, drop shipping, Amazon influencing, for example. So you will want an Amazon seller account, you will want physical inventory, and you will want a Shopify store. Other small requirements is we do use product SKUs or SKUs. A lot of merchants are familiar with an ASIN, an ISBN. The SKU is the only real unique identifier to their products. So that's something important in Shopify when you're creating these product listings. Just grab the SKU from Amazon Seller Central and paste it to the products there inside of Shopify. When it comes to an app like ByteStand, it's super easy to find on the Shopify App Store. You click on the app, you click install, and the app walks you through some setup steps of how to, 2 buttons to attach the Amazon credentials, select your ByteStand plan, because you might need a basic plan, which starts out at $25 a month. There's no order limits. It comes with manual fixed rates. and we just automatically start to manage things. For my stores that are a little bit more complex, you go to a second screen and choose, do I want inventory syncing? Do I need help with virtual bundles? What about imported orders? And after that, you're sent a flourish of emails to help with setup videos. We also have live help through our video chats where we do app demos and help stores set up the app. It can take anywhere, I would say, to set up an app like ByteStand, 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the complexity of your business and what you're looking for. But then you have a huge support team that's US based, sitting behind you, waiting on live chat, on videos, on email, and on phone calls to help make you successful and keep you successful.
Mm-hmm. Very good overview. You already touched on my next question about the pricing structure. Is there anything more to know about the pricing structure? For instance, if you're in a different country?
There is more to know. The pricing structure is not different per country. I think earlier I had kind of listed the marketplaces that we are currently available in. The pricing structure is based per marketplace. So we're not based off of order. So we're not going to say you've hit your 50 order limit for the month. Now you have to upgrade. We're going to say you're a US merchant. You signed up for order fulfillment. It's $25 a month for manual fixed rates. Whether you fulfill 500 orders or 5,000 that month, it's $25 a month. We don't add on extra fees. There's no percentage we take off the top. There's no hidden pricing. That's where it stops. Now, where the price continues is for add-on features. So if you are a store that's on a grow plan or above and you're interested in the live Amazon shipping rates with your order fulfillment, that plan's $35 a month, and that's per marketplace. So my stores that are in the United States, it's one marketplace, it's $25 a month. I have a lot of stores that are in the United States, the UK, and Germany, and Australia. It's $25 a month per marketplace, which controls all that order fulfillment. We do inventory syncing, which is interesting to me. Not every single merchant is interested in inventory syncing. My merchants that have 10 or less SKUs, or they rarely sell out on Amazon, it's not as much as a priority for them. They're kind of managing that on their own. So that's why we kept features like inventory syncing optional for the stores that felt like that was a need for them. We didn't want to have a large price point and then price merchants out. We're here for the merchants that are just getting started, that are moving from their garage to Amazon to MCF. And we're here for the merchants that have already been on Shark Tank and are in 6 different countries. So pricing starts out at the $25 a month and can go up from there.
Okay, no, that's very straightforward and easy to understand, and I love that because it gives you some safety at the end of the month that you know what you're paying. If it's coming by order, you might be surprised what comes out at the end of the month, and so you know from the beginning what you pay per month. Before we come to the end of the coffee break today, Cara, is there anything you want to share with our listeners that we haven't covered yet?
I would say just in your e-commerce journey, it is changing at the speed of light. So if you're already an Amazon merchant and you haven't started looking into the power of MCF, believe it or not, the MCF program can assist you on your Amazon.com rankings as well. So that's something to keep in mind. We're learning that, so Amazon is very inventory based and they like fresh inventory and they like quick turnover. So when you're selling your products faster in more places and you're shipping more inventory into Amazon, they actually appreciate that and start to put to rank you a little bit higher on Amazon.com. So that's something new that we're learning. The more you're selling and the more you're refreshing, the more Amazon loves you. So not only does MCF help you on Shopify and on your social e-commerce, it's helping you on your Amazon.com FBA listings as well. And when you're doing your research, take your time and find yourself a team that can help. And that's something that we love here at ByteStand, is we've been a part of Amazon and the MCF ecosystem since 2016. And for us, it's a passion project and it's personal. And so find yourself a team that is passionate about it and they're here to help you, not only to benefit themselves, but to benefit you as well. Because it can be an exciting journey and it can be overwhelming, but there's help out there.
That's good to know. I know that a lot of Shopify merchants who are looking into Amazon, which I think is a necessity, are overwhelmed because it's a complete different beast. It's a universe out there. They have their own algorithms, and then having somebody like you on your side to help you to get into it and to get best out of it, that's just a good choice. Where can people go and find out more about you?
Yeah, so you can go to ByteStand.com, and so that's BYTE stand.com. We also are on all the social media platforms or on the Shopify App Store and look for ByteStand MCF shipping.
Cool. I will put all the links in the show notes, then you're just one click away, and I hope a lot of people will reach out to you and find out what the MCF program can do for them. Thanks so much for your time today.
Perfect. Thank you.